This is Rob Immortal Spawn, and this video is going to be my top 10 tips for building a team for LAN and preparing for competitive play. Now obviously we're going to focus on Gears of War, but these things may apply to other games as well. I actually got into this topic while I was commentating a Hypefestation event in 2014. I knew I would be commentating, and I quickly wrote down a list of 10 things that seemed important to me at the time as I was surveying everybody competing. And unfortunately, I can't find that video, and it's been a topic that I'm very passionate about, love talking about, and figured I would just sit down here in my living room right now and talk about it. I got the headphones on, obviously no reason for that, but it's a gaming video, so you just wear Astros when it's a gaming video, I think. Jordan's sitting next to me, my cat, and we got the Raw Talent mug right here. So we're ready to go. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know if there's any other topics you'd like me to get into. So, number one, finding teammates with similar goals. Okay, so you want to compete in Gears of War. You're just starting out. You got a girl, you got a job, you go to school, and you want to play. I mean, it's your outlet. It's your thing that you want to do when you unwind and you have the drive to compete, and nothing gives you that urge more than Gears. I'm talking. It sounds like I'm talking personal thing here, but I'm sure a lot of you share that. So you need to find players that are going to share that drive. You need to find players that have the same responsibilities in life as you. If you're younger, you may not have as many responsibilities. It's a perfect match to find people your age to play with. You're going to expect, to be online more. You're going to expect to put as much time as you put into it. Your teammates are going to put in that same amount of time. Depending on where you are in life and where your values are, and what sort of responsibilities you have is going to dictate the people you play with. That's one. The second thing about finding teammates that would be similar goals, you also want to find teammates that you're comfortable playing with. You need to have fun in and out of the game. I mean, you need to be able to have a conversation with this person, outside of Gears. You need to be able to do other things. If you want to be truly successful, you need to be able to trust each other. You have to build a friendship. You have to build a trust, and that needs to resonate outside of the game. That's very important when you're in the game, because you can sort of begin to predict each other's moves. You know when to take each other lightly, take each other seriously. And personally, I recommend finding teammates that live close by to you and being able to meet up in person. And sort of get that time outside of the game. That way, it's not foreign. I remember, when Gears first dropped, and this may still be true for a lot of people. You go to a tournament, you're going to team up with somebody you never met them before, and it can be kind of weird sitting next to that person. So being able to get all those weird, warm fuzzies out of the way before you really get into it and get hype with somebody and motivate each other to play. That's definitely number one, finding teammates with similar goals and that you can really be friends with in and out of the game. Number two is quality of practice. Now this is going to be definitely more crucial for some of the older players, those who may not be able to play as much, but this is a huge thing for my team. And let's just say we play 3 or 4 nights a week or something like that, especially with a tournament coming up, and we're going to be preparing for that a little bit more intensely. We may devote 2 to 3 hours, let's say, in a night. That time needs to be 100% focused on improving the team. You need to put all distractions aside. You can't be doing other things. And you need to be prepared to take that time seriously. What I mean by that is, don't go spending 5 hours before that scrim time with your team, playing pubs and doing other stuff. You need to be rested. You need to be focused to get the most out of that time as you can. It's more important to get the most out of that time with your team, especially when things come up. And if you have other things outside the game, it's important to have teammates that understand. If something comes up, you need to play with people that can relate to that. Number 3 is going to be consistency. It's going to be about keeping consistent environment. when you're playing. So you're going to a tournament, and there's a monitor there, there's a controller that you're going to bring. Basically you want to emulate that same setup at home. So do your research, see what monitors are being played at tournaments. I recommend something 24 inches or smaller. Typically, that's even pretty big. But you want to keep the consistency the same. You don't want anything foreign when you go to an event. And that's another thing about playing with people close by to you. If you're able to LAN with people ahead of time, you can already know what it's like to sit next to one another. And that would help you. That would just be a little bit easier when you get to the tournament. Personally, I drink coffee when I'm scrimming, and I'm going to drink coffee at tournaments. If you have a bagel with cream cheese and orange juice every morning, and you toast the half of the bagel, you should be doing that at the tournament. I mean, that's what you do every day. Then do that same thing. Another tip, like if you're kind of nervous about the maybe being on stream or having the cameras on main stage and things like that, it can definitely be nervous, and it definitely takes practice to really take hold and grasp that and get into it. Stream. Get a camera on yourself. Stream at home. It really helps sort of get that uncomfortableness out a little bit. Just practicing, getting used to knowing people are watching you while you're playing. So just another recommendation in terms of building that consistency, being comfortable when you're at a tournament. Okay, number 4 is seating arrangements. Now let's picture a typical LAN setup. We're going to have one team here and one team here, and there's going to be 4 people on each side, maybe playing across from each other, maybe playing side by side, sort of separated like that. Either way, we need to focus on these 4 individuals. All right, it's very important to recognize that where you sit is going to help you in the game. Left or right, seats 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's just pick a map. Let's pick gridlock. You and another person on your team play snipe tower together, and the other 2 guys work boom and middle together. You kind of see where I'm going. These 2 guys at snipe tower should be sitting next to each other. This allows them to look at each other's screens when they're dead, or even while they're alive. It allows just to take a peek over and see. When people are caught, sometimes you're unable to talk. Having that screen, having that person, your guy in the game that plays a similar position as you is going to be very helpful. Another thing is having people that are maybe more vocal in the middle. If you've seen me at a tournament, I don't shut up. I sit in the middle. I can get a good overview and just make sure everybody hears me on my team. It's important that someone vocal is there, but it's also important that maybe someone that plays a support role who can see a couple monitors. Having 2 monitors next to somebody in the middle is important for a support player, can sort of get an idea. Maybe somebody that plays the one spot often can just look left or right and see what's going on. So definitely you want to sit next to people that are going to run positions with you, and get the vocal guys in the middle. Guys, number 5 is going to be no negativity. Okay, leave the last play behind you. You're in the middle of a game. All right, it happens to all of us. You have the round under your control, and you end up losing it. All right, something goes wrong. Somebody makes a mistake. It happens. Okay, the best thing you can do, and you have to try and remember this, the most productive thing you can do for your team is hold those comments. Now, obviously, you have a few seconds before the round starts. You can make sure, own up to what you did, or talk about it very briefly. But you need to be thinking about the next round. It's really crucial to leave what happened behind you. Don't dwell on that. Let it go. Circle back to it in between the next match, in between maps. Circle back to it. Go over it. Make sure you nail it down. But it's really important to lose all negativity and motivate each other. It's okay. We'll get them on the next round. Obviously, something not as corny as that. But just no negativity, all positivity. It's gonna make things a lot better for your team. It's gonna keep everybody motivated and focused. Number 6 is a little bit of a blanket statement. It's just helping your team win with every possible ounce that you have in you, whether you're alive, dead, or it's between rounds or whatever. Essentially, just because you're dead in gears especially doesn't mean you can't help your team. If you've ever seen me play on LAN, I'll make sure that there's a lot of room behind my station for my whole team. And when I'm dead, I get out of my seat. I start ghost camming and I start coaching. I start making call outs. I can see all the monitors. Now, obviously, this is quite extreme, but it's a nod to the fact that I'm doing everything in my power to secure the round for my team, with or without me still alive. This is a team-based game. Whether you're dead, there's still a lot that you can do, and oftentimes, players drop their heads, stay quiet. They're upset about something. And it's really crucial that you stay focused, you stay positive, and you continue to help out any way that you possibly can. Number 7 is going to be likely the most important one of all. It's going to be communication. And I've been harping on communication since day one with this game. It's obviously crucial in a team-based shooter. And sharing knowledge is your key to success, and it's, to me, the most valuable. So with that, you shouldn't just talk for no reason, okay? Convey only valuable information to your team. Only take up the airwaves, whether you're online or in LAN. Only take up airspace when you have information that is potentially valuable to a teammate. The simplest thing could, such as Carmine jammed his gun. You're a locust and you see that Carmine jams his gun. That may be the deciding factor for a teammate to push and secure a kill. And you need to speak loudly. Okay, you may have made the call out and your team didn't hear you. You need to be loud. You need to be vocal, and you need to really mean it, especially on LAN. Another thing, when you're dead, like we talked about, when you're dead, that you're still not out, but tying in with communication, assign communication roles when your teammates are dead. For example, it's a 2v2 situation. Let's talk about checkout. It's a 2v2 situation. And my teammate and I have been killed, so we are able to ghost cam. You have 2 players that are still alive. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to watch Marcus. All right, my teammate, you watch Baird, okay? And just keep your camera on them and just say anything they do. They have pistol out. They have sniper out. They have shotgun out. They have actives, twirling a smoke. Okay, that's one example. Another example of assigning roles, it's a 1v2 situation and 3 people on your team are dead. Get somebody to watch a power weapon. You can still stay on checkout here. Have somebody just literally overhead cover on nades. And if we're in Gears UE, then find a security cam that has vision of the power weapon. It's important to know when that power weapon respawns. It could help your teammate make decisions he's still alive in order to clutch. So make sure that even though you're dead, everybody has communication roles, whether it's watching a power weapon, watching another player and calling out what he's doing so the player alive can make a decision. Suggest a play for your teammate to do. You see an opportunity. It's a 1v3, and you see 2 players on one side of the map, one on another. That's a 1v1 situation. Take it, go. Take the 1v1. You need to be able to coach a little bit, as I kind of talked about already, but I'm taking more time on communication because it is so important. Another tip, like in terms of communicating in-game, is sort of reduce the amount of syllables you can for callouts. So obviously one key thing is making sure everybody has the same callouts for areas on the map. Once that's done, make sure they're quick names, 1-2 syllables. And in terms of your teammates, make sure you can identify each other with 1 syllable would be the most ideal situation. Just a quick sound so you can hear each other. It just reduces the amount of information that needs to be released from your mouth, which would, and then turn into something positive in the game. So quick call-outs, quick naming, quick names for each other. And lastly, let each other take turns. You may have a lead person that communicates well, and again, that one person is a live scenario. You have 3 people. So let's say one guy on your team usually takes the role of making all those call-outs, being that player's guide. Take turns. Let everybody get their shot at it. Okay, I'm going to do the call-outs this time. I'm going to, sort of drive the communication here. Let everybody get involved. Let everybody communicate, and be loud on LAN. Communication is key, guys. It's my number 1 at number 7. Number 8 is all about keeping the hype and staying loud. Sort of segueing into communicating loud. Keeping the hype on your side. Okay, so at a tournament, it's 4v4. Whether you're sitting like this or you're like this, and unfortunately, maybe sometimes you're in soundproof boxes, and this really doesn't, work as well there. But typically, we hear each other. Okay, you need to keep the hype. You need to, even if you lose a round, it's important to obviously still stay positive, but still stay hype. This game runs on adrenaline. It literally thrives on the hype, and the momentum can quickly change. The first round in execution is usually pretty big, just because you get that hype. But it can quickly go the other way as soon as the other team gets around, and they'll make sure you hear it. So stay loud, stay hype, and just try and live off that adrenaline, ride it through the whole match. If you're not losing your voice at a Gears of War tournament, you're doing it wrong. Number 9 is trash talk. Trash talk is so much fun. It is really just all forgiving. It literally, like, anything goes. It's really confusing. Like, if you're at a tournament and you listen to what happens in between games between people, like, I can't imagine these conversations happening in the real world. But like, it's so accepted. It's literally just like been this accepted ritual where, you know what, we're playing right now, we're going at it. You can say whatever you want. I mean, I'm talking, like, obviously, PG-13 and nothing offensive, but still, like, it gets pretty heated, and it's great. I mean, it's really hard to play Gears without it, especially on LAN, and I think we just need to embrace that as a community. So with that, it's important. There's a way to trash talk and have it be, like, very clean. So for example, like, I'll usually just start saying things that sort of brings the attention. When Rawtown's getting ready to play, everybody in the venue will know that, just because I'll start screaming it and just sort of making the other team feel like the crowd is there to watch us, whether it's true or not, because we've had chants against us numerous times, and that's a lot of fun too. But another thing is, like, you can literally call out a player on the other team and use that player, like, pick a guy on the other team and just be like, yo, you are carrying your team right now. You can motivate a player on the other team and make him feel good, but make his other teammates feel really bad. And that's trash talk. You're making that guy feel good, and somewhat you're putting the whole team down. Like, yeah, I mean, you the only one that's going to do anything? Like, I don't know, just an example. Another thing is, like, deception. So oftentimes, like, you can make call-outs, and it's not necessarily trash talk, but I have deception in the same category, where it's like you can make fake call-outs. Like, I'll whisper to my team sometimes, yo, we're going to run the 2-2. I'm going to scream like we're all going to be pushing something. We're all going to be pushing boom. So then I'll scream like, let's go, 4 to boom. Nobody out here, something like that. But we're actually just doing a base strat. And being able to take advantage of that audible presence, with trash talk, and it's just another dimension of the game, another layer of the game that you cannot do online, and you need to just do everything you can to take advantage of that. So deception and trash talk are very big in terms of using sound and using your presence as another layer of strategy to beat your opponent. Finally, number 10 is professionalism and sportsmanship. Good luck, good game, handshakes before and after a match with your competitors. You never know who's watching at a tournament, on stream. You don't want to burn bridges. You may be teaming with somebody that you just played against. So it's important to hold that professionalism. One, for the integrity of Gears of War as an esports title. We need to reflect that in us. And two, it's good sportsmanship. This is a sport. This is a competition. This is a competitive setting. You say good luck, and you say good game when it's all said and done, win or lose. That's just how it has to be. And you keep the smack talk in the game. Obviously, it's important to it's fair game once that's all happening and you're doing your thing. But after the game, shake hands, move along. I hope you guys enjoyed these top 10 tips on team building and LAN preparation. This has been a lot of fun. This is a topic I'm very passionate about. I would love you to share some of your stories with me from your LAN experiences. If there's any other topics you'd like me to get into, And if I come up with another list of these, happy to do some more. So let me know what other questions you have, what other topics you'd like to see, and look forward to competing with you guys in the future.